Morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank MP KSAMC Morrison. I must also thank you, members of the media, for joining us this morning. And while I'm at it, I wish also to extend a special welcome to my Jamaican brothers and sisters who are tuned live to this media conference, and for those who will, of course, catch it delayed. Based on the constitutional due date, the people of Jamaica will be called upon to elect members of parliament and determine who forms government at some point during the course of calendar year 2025. By all indications, the upcoming general elections will be among the most consequential yet in Jamaica's recent history. While the Jamaica Labour Party has been working assiduously and has been delivering for the Jamaican people in the areas that matter most to them, areas such as crime management, job creation, economic opportunities, road rehabilitation, housing, and access to potable water, the parliamentary opposition has not presented any credible, coherent, or compelling plans or alternatives to move Jamaica forward. This Jamaica Labour Party administration has been insistent on abiding by principles of good governance, in particular where it concerns the use of public funds. On the other hand, the PNP has been on platforms attempting to deceive and mislead the Jamaican people by presenting themselves as lily white and as though they are paragons of virtue. However, the Lawrence Rowe PNP hush money scandal, along with the latest developments in this unfolding saga, which may be characterized as the PNP KSAMC corruption scandal, removes the mask from the PNP and exposes them for who and what they really are. The Jamaica Labour Party has taken careful note of media reports over the past week, corroborated by exported WhatsApp conversations, including a quite damning and extremely disturbing voice note in which the PNP's embattled General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, sought to explain the basis on which the Kingston and St. Municipal Corporation, the KSAMC for short, directed more money to PNP operatives, including caretakers, in other sections of the municipality compared to what the PNP's then caretaker for Central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe, told Dayton Campbell that he had actually received. The media has reported that the voice note was part of a December 2024 WhatsApp conversation between Lawrence Rowe and Dr. Dayton Campbell. It is noteworthy, ladies and gentlemen, that despite the passage of a week, Dr. Campbell has not denied having the conversation, nor has he denied responding in the manner the voice note indicates that he did. It is important to note that in the WhatsApp conversation, the PNP then caretaker, Lawrence Rowe, directly questioned the embattled PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, as to why some PNP political operatives received more money from the KSAMC, including sums amounting to $500,000 relative to the $300,000 which Lawrence Rowe told Dayton Campbell that he had received. It is also important to note that in responding to the direct question put to him by Lawrence Rowe, Dayton Campbell did not condemn or in any way repudiate or indeed disassociate the PNP from the use of KSAMC money to advance the partisan agenda and electoral interests of the PNP and, of course, its political operatives. A direct question was put to Dr. Dayton Campbell, and he provided a direct response. We have, in fact, transcribed Dr. Dayton Campbell's response for the public record and, of course, for the benefit of those who may not have heard it as yet. The embattled PNP General Secretary was questioned about the sincerity or commitment of the PNP-controlled KSAMC to winning Central Kingston. And he was questioned as to why more KSAMC money was allocated to other PNP caretakers compared to what was allocated to him, Lawrence Rowe, over there in Central Kingston. In direct response to the question put to him by Lawrence Rowe about the distribution of funds by the KSAMC, Dr. Dayton Campbell may be heard in his own voice saying, and I'm quoting here now, "I can tell you why that happened. It's because they put more money in the two divisions that we're going to have by-elections in. So you're going to have a by-election in Chancery and you're going to have a by-election in Denham Town. So they put some more money in the two divisions that are going to have the by-elections." And we are now going to hear in Dr. Campbell's own voice what he said in that 17-second voice note.
I can tell you why that happened. That's because they put more money in the two divisions that we're going to have by-elections in. So we're going to have a by-election in Chancery, I'm going to have a by-election in Denham Town. So they put some more money in the two divisions that are going to have the.
There you have it, Dr. Campbell's own words in Dayton Campbell's own voice. In another voice note that has been disclosed by the media, the embattled PNP General Secretary sought to assure Lawrence Rowe that the disproportionate issuance of money to various PNP representatives was not a sign of the KSAMC's lack of commitment to winning Central Kingston. It is the Jamaica Labour Party's considered view, and we are confident that well-thinking Jamaicans will concur with us, that the response from Dr. Dayton Campbell was disgraceful, repugnant, scandalous, and quite frankly, unacceptable, and that the PNP KSAMC corruption scandal warrants strong and decisive action against him, as he, in his capacity as PNP General Secretary, has ultimate responsibility for the party's political activities and electioneering, and indeed how they are sustained. To be very clear, we make no allegation of personal malfeasance concerning the embattled PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell. However, what is clear and incontrovertible is that based on messages at hand and messages that are widely publicized, when asked about the inappropriate use of KSAMC monies to distribute to PNP political representatives, Dr. Dayton Campbell responded directly to the inquiry in voice, explaining why that was happening, and in the same breath, he referenced upcoming by-elections, those of course being in Denham Town Division and of course the Chancery Hall Division. We find Dr. Campbell's response both unbecoming and unacceptable, and must point out that it falls woefully short of what is required of the CEO of a major political party in Jamaica, and of course, a commissioner of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. In fact, the response suggests systematic, inappropriate conduct by the political party of which Dr. Dayton Campbell is a leading member. The Jamaica Labour Party also notes that other apparent WhatsApp conversations have been reported on by the media, which appear to corroborate what Lawrence Rowe alleged in conversations with Dr. Dayton Campbell. In those messages, a former PNP councillor who now serves as an administrative staffer to Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby told Lawrence Rowe to collect the same sum Rowe referenced in conversation with Dr. Dayton Campbell, that of course being 300,000 Jamaican dollars. Mayor Swaby's administrative staffer told Lawrence Rowe that he should note that the money being made available to him is, and I quote, not for public knowledge. This entire PNP KSAMC corruption scandal strongly suggests that the opposition PNP as an institution has resorted to using taxpayers' money to fund its political campaign activities and to line the pockets of its political operatives, including unelected PNP representatives. And they are doing so all in their vulgar, despicable, and desperate pursuit of power. Our information is that millions of dollars were expended by the KSAMC in this inappropriate and repugnant manner. In light of the foregoing observations and this deepening KSAMC PNP corruption scandal, as we have good reason to believe there is more yet to come on this matter, the Jamaica Labour Party is calling for the following. 1. The immediate resignation of Dr. Dayton Campbell as a commissioner of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ. He is to also resign from the shadow cabinet as he substantively serves as the opposition spokesman on agriculture and fisheries. And he's also to resign as PNP General Secretary. It is important to note that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica is a well-respected and highly acclaimed institution here in our country. It is guided by principles which inherently run counter to the use of state resources in the manner in which Dr. Dayton Campbell was explaining to Lawrence Rowe in that now infamous voice note, and indeed the screenshots of those WhatsApp messages. Dayton Campbell must resign immediately. Number 2, we demand that the mayor of Kingston, who is also the chairman of the KSAMC, specifically respond to assertions in the public domain that a KSAMC official was in central Kingston in December 2024 issuing money to influential PNP activists, and that the KSAMC is being systematically used to corruptly fund the PNP's political and electoral activities, and of course, to line the pockets of its party operatives, including unelected PNP political representatives. We find a statement issued last week by Mayor of Kingston, Mayor Swaby, on the matter to be indirect. He was evasive, and his statement was grossly inadequate. Mayor Swaby must tell Jamaica whether his political boss, Dr. Dayton Campbell, was inaccurate when Campbell told Lawrence Rowe that the KSAMC was distributing taxpayers' money on a partisan basis and to shore up the electoral pursuits of the PNP. If Mayor Andrew Swaby cannot, within 24 hours, provide adequate, credible, and definitive clarity concerning this specific matter, he too must resign and step aside as Mayor of Kingston and the chairman of the Kingston and St. Municipal Corporation. Point number 3, the Jamaica Labour Party is aware of word concerning the existence of additional video and audio tapes involving PNP officials and operatives discussing the inappropriate use of public funds from the KSAMC to line the pockets of PNP caretakers and to fund their political activities. The Jamaica Labour Party, and indeed well-thinking Jamaicans, insist that PNP President Mark Golding tells the country whether he was aware of what is being exposed as the PNP's inappropriate use of state resources to fund its election campaign activities. Mark Golding must tell us what, if anything, he has done about it to date. And he should not tell us to ask the PNP. Point number 4. In the event that Dr. Dayton Campbell does not resign as ECJ Commissioner, Opposition Spokesman on Agriculture and Fisheries, and the PNP General Secretary, the People's National Party President Mark Golding should act in a timely and decisive manner by ensuring that Dr. Dayton Campbell, his embattled General Secretary, is separated from the 3 reference posts ASAP. Point number 5. While we are not surprised, we note Mark Golding's assertion at a PNP political rally in Northwest St. Catherine this past Sunday that he has a lot of confidence in Dr. Dayton Campbell. This affirmation of support for Dr. Campbell by Mark Golding came merely a few days after media reports exposed the wretched and sleazy PNP KSAMC corruption scandal in which the embattled PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is embroiled. Mark Golding's handling of this scandal engulfing Dr. Dayton Campbell and the PNP will determine whether he should be taken seriously when he promised to adopt a zero-tolerance approach to unacceptable treatment of public funds. Any failure or equivocation on the part of opposition leader Mark Golding to appropriately hold Dr. Dayton Campbell to account render him unsuitable for the constitutional office he currently holds, let alone the highest elected office in the land to which he, Mark Golding, is aspiring. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Golding's week-long silence and his inaction on this matter thus far is quite disturbing, and the Jamaican people should seriously assess his suitability to lead this country of ours. Our penultimate point. The JLP welcomes word that there are 2 separate anti-corruption investigations underway into this wretched KSAMC PNP corruption scandal. Given the emerging trend of malfeasance and apparent systemic corrupt and inappropriate use of taxpayers' money at PNP-controlled municipal corporations, including, of course, the Manchester Municipal Corporation, the Hanover Municipal Corporation, the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, and, of course, the KSAMC. The Jamaica Labour Party, like all well-thinking Jamaicans, are calling for the immediate and urgent audit by the Auditor General of all these municipal corporations controlled by the PNP, in particular, of course, the KSAMC. And our final point, the Jamaica Labour Party also notes that the PNP KSAMC corruption scandal has been in the public domain for almost a week now, with supporting screenshots of WhatsApp messages and voice notes readily accessible. However, to date, we are not aware of any statement issued by our usually vocal and vociferous civil society groups, which of course profess and assert that they are non-partisan and that they are vanguards, essentially watchdogs on matters concerning integrity, corruption, accountability in public office, and of course, lawful use of taxpayers' money. We trust that our usually vocal civil society groups will find their voice and address this sordid and scandalous PNP KSAMC corruption scandal as a means of reassuring the onlooking public and, of course, promoting and upholding accountability in the use of public funds and by those who preside over public funds. That brings us to the end of the opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.